Happy Monday. Episode 172. Here we go. Let's have some fun. Grab a drink. Let's go. Yeah. Come on in. Iced tea and lemonade. Party time. I like it. Where's the clicker? Right here. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Come on in. We got a good group. I think the algorithm tonight is going to be better because I didn't put any mean words in the tags. Although you never know these days. Come on in. I'm Cardone. This is evening hour 172. We got a great group in here already. We got Michael, Charlemagne, Ryan, Lorcan, Tony, Ruby. Who else? Melissa, Paul, Achilles. Yeah. Come on in. I can already tell the algorithm's working. Isn't that nuts? Immediately, I can see. Yeah, I don't know. Last week, I swear to God, I got squelched. Come on in. Grab a drink. If you're smoky, smoke. I'm drinking iced tea and lemonade. Nothing fancy. With ice. I'm on Turkey Hill tonight, folks. This is what we get in New York City. What's up, Melissa? Cheers, everybody. I'm in a great mood. I think tonight's subject is going to be fun as hell. I have a bunch to say before I get into anything. It's a live show. It's also, I perform for a living. So if you donate, you can donate here. There's a whole system. Hi, see? Whoops, what did I do? See? There's like a link below, blah, blah, blah. And if you don't have any cash to donate and you could care less about donating, that's fine. If you're having fun, please hit the like and subscribe and all that junk. And the notify, if you can. Yeah, because doing these is not only hard, there's an algorithm I'm trying to conquer. I don't want to use that word, but it is that. So sharing, hey, the people that share my show when I post it, thank you very much. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that helps. So, yeah, thank you. I got a great group in here. If you're new and I don't know you, say hi. Say, hey, what's up? We're friendly. We'll chat. If you're not new, say hi. If you're the first time in here, whatever. We're a good group. We ask questions. Everything's on the table. The whole point of this show is for me to have some fun thinking, and you guys think, and I send you down thinking holes, and you send me down thinking holes. That's it. Yeah. Discovery. That's what we do here. So come on in. I have a large cigar-sized Wonder baseball bat ready to go, and I also have a roach of one here. My roaches are about 1 gram. I like large joints. Yeah, it's October. I'm so happy I get to do these shows this month. My Mondays have been pretty good. But this is busy month, so I have a lot of corporate gigs. There's lots of Jewish holidays that hire me. There's Halloween parties. It's all starting. So it's going. Busier than last year, so that's good. One thing I wanted to point out And it's something that if you watch this show, no, I did not find the mushroom gummies, but I wasn't looking because, I mean, if I look, I'll find them. Yes, thank you. You're reminding me. I actually have them. I want to get them for a present for somebody. Ooh, glass pipes. Yes. Homegrown. Yes, a lot of people have harvested their weed in America. For people not living in America, a lot of places it's legal here. And it should be legal everywhere, but it's not. What was I going to say? Oh, if you watch this show, you know I'm a McDonald's aficionado. A lot, actually. I don't just like eating it. I like studying it as a phenomena. And there's this new sandwich. There's a new Big Mac. There's a chicken Big Mac. It's not just a chicken Big Mac. They just didn't take the chicken sandwich and put 2 patties in the sauce. Oh no, it's a reformulated patty. Supposedly it's like a giant chicken McNugget. I haven't tried it yet. Anybody try it? It's brand new. The other thing is they're bringing back the McRib. Hallelujah. I'm a fan. I do like McRibs. And for anyone out there that's budget-minded and realized that McDonald's was getting a little pricey, they have now the $5 meal. They have the $5 meal and the $6 meal. Listen to this. For the junk food junkie out there, I get the $6 meal. It's a double cheeseburger, 4 chicken McNuggets, French fries, and a drink. Now, they're getting me to eat the food I never eat. I never get fries or chicken nuggets. They're not good for you. They're not as good for you as the burger or a fillet of fish. Let's just say that. Okay, here we go. Someone here just doesn't eat McDonald's. Just say no. Just say no? What happened to just say... Wait, Charlemagne, what country are you? Are you in America? I forget. Oh, somebody had... Oh, Michael Pike used to work there. I have a fantasy of working there. I've never worked there. But when I get old, maybe I'll do a part-time. Ah, yes. I had a buddy in high school, Richie Cessna, if you're watching. I miss you. We had a good time. He worked at McDonald's, and I remember he used to tell me when they were going to bring out the dumpster food because it was still warm, and I would show up. Yeah, I was that guy. Yeah, but Wendy's $5 meal is Wendy's. So in Portugal, which I like, I've been there. I've performed in Lisbon. I like it there. No weed? You know, when I went to Spain a few years ago, everybody told me there was going to be weed everywhere. And, oh, yeah, the director of the movie that a lot of you have seen, that guy, Aram, if you're watching Aram, I remember this. You told me you could get weed everywhere in Spain, so I didn't bring any. When I landed, there was no weed to be found. It took me a while. I found the filmmakers who made the first and only horror film from Panama. They smoked me up. But I was a little, like, mad and snobby because they rolled a pinner joint. We call them pinners. They're, like, little tiny. And I'm used to baseball bats. And so I was a little perturbed. But they were nice. So cheers to those guys for... Wow, you worked there for 5 years. Oh, that sucks. Some asshole. Well... A&W burgers. I like that. So, Portugal, no weed, eh? Spain has it. Medical, I believe. So check this out. On the note of food, the other day I'm walking in the grocery store and I see Coca-Cola Oreos. So, I wish I did the live unboxing because my reaction was crazy. Look, it smells like Coca-Cola. If you smell this, and I didn't tell you what it was, you'd be like, it's some sort of Coke. Maybe cherry Coke. Look at this cookie. There's 3 different ones in here. And I want to show them to you because I think they're beautiful designed. Look at this. Look at this. Okay? Look, this one's the... I mean, folks, okay? And then this one's cute. Right? So check this out. They smell like Coca-Cola. They taste immediately in your mouth like Coca-Cola. And they're fizzy. I swear to God, they fizz. So if you're a junk food nerd like me and you like pop culture junk food, please go try limited edition Oreo Coca-Cola. I will save one of these. Hey, we got Lorcan in here. We got Goblinko. Double cheeseburger and a vanilla milkshake from McDonald's, my friend. You are an American. Cheers. I mean, McDonald's is scientifically engineered to taste good, okay? That's all I'll say. Goblinko. Goblinko says, I wish I never had a normal job and I wish I worked as a burger flipper. I both wish I... Yes. Yes, me too. I'm the same. I have the exact same desire to work in a McDonald's. I actually have a dream of owning a franchise and making it funky because they let you do that. If you have a good idea, they'll do it. Tomato sauce, mayo, French mustard with a dash of Worcestershire sauce and a small dash of Reaper chili sauce makes a mean homemade burger relish. Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah, so anybody that likes junk food. Now, Coca-Cola just released an Oreo-flavored Coke Zero. And if it wasn't a Coke Zero, I would try it. But I stay away from fake sugar. I don't like the taste. I don't like the aftertaste. If my mother's watching, she likes Diet Coke. Okay. Anybody see the film 7A? I haven't seen it. I'm a Rosemary's Baby fan, but it looks like crap. Not Nosferatu. Salem's Lot. I hear it's crap. Megaopolis. Mostly crap. It's Coppola, the guy that did The Godfather. And I heard his movie just missed the mark. I didn't see it. Oh, aspartame's disgusting. That's why I don't like it. So, yeah, this Megaopolis movie, I don't know what to say. It's a flop, I hear. I'm a Coppola guy. I like his old movies. I don't like his new stuff as much, but whatever. I mean, I want him to do well, but I heard it's not good. We'll get to the Joker in a second. The Substance, I talked about it last week. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. I'm picky. Check it out. Goblinko, Sean, The Substance. I think you'll have fun with it. It's pretty good. It's what I wanted the Barbie... I didn't see the Barbie movie yet. I don't really want to see it, but maybe eventually I'll watch it if I'm bored. To me, this is like the horror film version of a Barbie film. And that's why I like it a lot. What else? No, I'm not talking about that. Terrifier 3 opens this week. I have a lot to say about that a little later. I am a fan, as you can see. And if you look on the table cam, we've got art representing the house tonight. What else before we get in the meat of the show tonight? Because I have a funny feeling that the show tonight will spawn side chats. When I do these shows, Oh, you saw the first Terrifier. Okay, there you go. Lorcan, garbage, Salem's Lot. That's what I heard. I'm glad you liked the first Terrifier. It's very simple, straight to the point, and really well made. 2 is an elaborate version of 1, and 3 I hear is a hoot. So I already have my tickets. Have I looked at the game God of War? I've heard of it, but I don't do video games. I don't have the time. I don't do TV too much either, or movies, believe it or not. I do them, but it's getting rarer. Oh yeah, I think Terrifier 3's already been reviewed as great. People are leaving the theater. They're running out. 2 people passed out in Australia. People are vomiting. We got it. That's what we want. Um, yes. Yes, I have yet to meet him or the director, but I heard they're very personable and sweethearts. I actually have a signed box right here. I've never met the guy, but I have something signed by him, which is an amazing. Thank you, Serena. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm a mega fan. They, to me, saved horror films. They saved modern horror. Oh, the Coke Oreos! You tried them? I mean, I was expecting not what I got, and I was wildly surprised as soon as I felt the fizz. I didn't see on the package. It does say they're fizzy. I didn't see that. I'm blind. So when I ate them, I was like, "Oh my god, they're fizzy!" It was like a real surprise. Well, oh yeah. Okay, you're gonna love my Joker thing today. Ah, you had one and your family ate the rest. Listen, I had one, bugged out, didn't eat any, and then last night I had a whole bunch, and I kind of regretted it. I overdid it. Oh yeah, did you guys freak out when you saw them in the grocery store? Somebody in your family was like, "Oh my god, Coke Oreos." I wish they did a Dr. Pepper Oreo now. I mean, really, they kind of need to. I mean, Moxie would be primo. All right, so my algorithm's still not so good. It's okay. It's better than last week. Last week was ridiculous. I don't know what's going on. So, I gotta say something. There's gonna be spoilers pretty damn quick. That's right. There's gonna be spoilers. Lots. And tonight's show is called The Joke's on You, Hollywood Bloat. And I mean it. The joke's on you and me and everybody. And we're going to talk about The Joker Part Doo-Doo. And I have a lot to say. I saw it last week with my mama. My mother's become my movie buddy. It's great. It's our newfound family hobby. My son too, but my mom a lot. And my daughter too. We're all movie buddies. We like horror films and movies. I'm telling you, go get the Coke Oreos. I want them to stick around. They should just permanently make these. They're awesome. They should sell them all over the world. So, I went and saw The Joker. I already heard it wasn't that great. We went on the Thursday before the Friday. Oh my God, Mellow Yellow. So, here's my story about The Joker. I mean, let's talk about the first one. I saw the first one when it came out. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I didn't think it was terrible, but I didn't think it was brilliant. I mean, I remember hearing people say it was brilliant. I didn't think that. I thought it was fine. I thought De Niro was terrible. I can't watch him act. Every time I say that, people go, "You don't like his politics." It's not that. First of all, whenever he speaks about politics, he sounds really dumb. Like dumb. Like it's kind of weird. Like he sounds slow. He says the same thing over and over, and it's not very coherent. And I don't want to say he looks like he's having he looks triggered. It looks weird. It looks like he's being paid and he's triggered, and I don't know. Something's off. But I like his old movies a lot, and I like him. I mean, some of his characters he's played and his portrayals are pretty good. But as an actual actor, Mountain Dew, yes. I don't know. He made a lot of silly comedies, and he just does a lot of mugging, and he's almost a parody of himself. I don't... It's... The role in The Joker, to me, seemed like something that... I just thought it was a little, like... I don't want to say phoned in. I didn't buy it. It looked fake. It looked weird. It was awkward. It was off. It was a miscast for me. Yeah, the last 15 minutes. Yeah, okay. Right. Yeah. I mean, it was fine. It was a good movie. It wasn't bad. Dude, it made $1 billion and won a bunch of Academy Awards. I mean, it did something. It hit a nerve. And I think I know what the nerve is. It said what was on everybody's minds. And that is, we're talking about the new Joker. And I was talking about De Niro being whiny. His politics, I don't like it when celebrities do politics, especially that way. If it's smart and has points and they know how to speak on the subject, I'm okay. But for some reason, celebrities act like they're knowledgeable in art and film and philosophy and geopolitical events. And I don't think they are. I think actors act educated when most of them are not educated. They play educated people, but they themselves are not well read. Most, I would say. Most. And so, yes, he did do the Gigi Allen documentary. Yes. So, I watched the first one, and to me what it was saying is that this person, the Joker, this guy, is all of the bad stuff boiling it's him, but it's also the world, and it's pushing through him, and we're waiting for him to pop, and we're waiting for him to transform into this character. I was gonna say, Ruth, I don't vote left. I don't vote right anymore. I don't vote either. I don't participate, but I don't think some of these celebrities help the cause they're being put in front to help, especially De Niro. I think he kind of hurt the cause when he did his little stint. But at any rate, and we want to see this Joker emerge. We want to notice the Batmobile or a Batman reference. You know, it's under this famous IP that we all know really well, the mythology, and we're waiting for it to pop. And so we're watching a degenerate thing happen that's true and part of our culture, and we're also secretly cheering it on to pop. So we play two roles. We understand the victim role, but we also want to be the bad guys and blow it up a bit. And that's who we are as humans. And I think that Joker movie reflects it perfectly. The problem is I don't think the filmmaker likes the second part to that, which is we actually do want to watch it all blow up. No one will say that, but they do. And so to me, that's what that movie was. Good question. What makes a horror movie a good horror movie? I know what to say now. I have a word for it. I like its verisimilitude. If it has verisimilitude, I'm usually in. Well, I've mentioned this word before. Meaning, it commits to its realm. It commits to its realness. It takes itself seriously and presents it forth. That's the first part of a good horror film. Todd Phillips is the director of Joker. So the movie makes $1 billion, and then we get the sequel. It's crap. It's terrible. It's bad. It's really lame. It's not good. It's beautiful. Me and my mom saw it and liked it. When we left, so we left the theater, and we were like, wow, what just happened? Like, our eyes were dazzled. It moved slow, but at least it looked nice. The colors were beautiful. The acting wasn't jarring or bad. The music was, I don't even remember. It was so forgettable. But it took me a second. And as I stepped away from the film, logical coherence? No, I don't mean that. I mean commitment to its cause. Logical coherence is fine if that helps. But I mean a commitment. No, like, hokiness for hoky's sake. I also don't like films that are playing into the clever. I like things that take themselves seriously. And so this Joker sequel, of course the studios are like, you got to make a sequel. We're going to make even more money. That's the whole point. And so it seemed like when I left, I remember my first thought was, that's a movie made by somebody who really didn't want to make a movie. But then they said, if I do, I'm going to do it my way, and it's going to be this, and we're going to have fun, and I'm going to comment on what I wanted to comment on the first one. That's what it looks like to me, and that's what it seems like now after doing some research. I really think that the director was kind of mad at how people read into his film. He probably thought people were stupid, and he probably thought the idiots that cheer it on are the ones I'm going to pull the rug out under. And the smart people that get my movie are going to get what I'm doing in the new one. Now, after I got what he's doing, I get it. I get what he's doing. I heard an interview where he said it. I'll tell you what he said. I'm going to be spoiling it soon. So if you don't want to be spoiled, I mean, out. Like, go now. Look, spoils coming. I think he did it as I'm a rich, famous Hollywood director. I'm going to do a poo-poo to Hollywood in a very subtle way. I'm going to spend this money and make a glorious-looking piece of fine garbage art. And he's going to work into it a message that maybe in the future people will think is brilliant. I think the new Wolfman looks okay. It's just a modern Wolfman and it looks scary, which is what I would say they should focus on. So I would like to see that. An internal consistency. Well, I do appreciate that, but I like it more. It's why I like the movie Flash Gordon. When people say it's hokey and cheesy, I want to punch them because I don't think it's hokey and cheesy. I think it's actually dead serious. I don't think there's any hokiness in Flash Gordon. I don't think there's any. I think it's very serious, actually. And that's why I like it. It might look hokey, but it's not hokey. Yes, he didn't. Clearly, he did not want to make this film. I think he was kind of like, wow, that first one was fine art, made a lot of money. It would be so awesome to let it rest. But he was like, look, I'm going to make the sequel, but it is not going to be what people want. And I'm going to surprise them with my art. And he failed. And it's I mean, look at this. This was, I don't know when this was. Was this morning? This was this morning on Rotten Tomatoes. It was 33% critic, 31% audience. That's terrible. All right, so here's the spoiler and why the movie failed. Why would you make a movie under these contexts? Why would you do this? So, the surprise ending, and I'm going to tell you now, the surprise ending is that, and they did it in the first one a bit too, and that is, he's not the Joker. There is no Joker. Yeah, we're sort of in Gotham City, and there might be a guy named, Bruce, and he might have the last name Wayne, and there might be some weird coincidences, and we're looking as an audience for anything Batman. Is there a Batmobile? It's Harvey Dent. There he is. He's in the Joker too. Harley Quinzincantl, meaning Harley Quinn, and right. So the surprise is, he's not the Joker. He's never going to be the Joker. He never was the Joker. He's a mentally ill loser, and that's it. And he's never going to be anything more. And as a director, so he made it a musical. Why? What does that add? Well, I would say, as a dream sequence goes, it's a great way to do the dream sequences, right? But in the movie, back to that internal logic, there are two types of musical sequences. All of them are forgettable. One is a realistic musical sequence, like in a musical, where two actors are hanging out and the emotions are so high they erupt into some sort of song. Except in this movie, they mumble. They do it real. I love you. No, you don't. They do them in like as if they're really in the room, kind of mumbling these lyrics. And I kept waiting for the cops to chime in and start singing backups. And the inmates to start saying, no, that's not what happens. And then there's the sequences where he's dreaming and fantasizing, and you see giant musical numbers with him dressed in full Joker regalia, and it's all pretty, and even those are boring and forgettable. The music is all standard. It's nothing new. Nothing sticks out. I remember only one time her belt singing, like where you're like, wow, she's actually hitting the big notes. She does it in character, so it's not really good. Right. Yeah, right. So, right. So Lorcan just said, as a musically mentally ill character, the music illustrates the emotional imbalance better. That's a wonderful idea. I get it. Great idea. It doesn't work. It's not flashy enough. So basically, when you watch a movie, there are things you want to see. Like in Terrifier, I want to see him kill people. But it's got to be really gory, and I want it to like make me like not want to look, right? I want to be so grossed out that it shows me something that's totally gets under my skin. Well, in a Batman movie, what do we want to see? What does every single person in the audience want to see? They want to see the Joker being nutty, become intelligent through his nuttiness, and be able to pull off a bank robbery or blowing up something cool or whatever he's trying to chaotically dismantle. That's what we're all waiting for. And the director doesn't like that. He thinks that's low. He thinks that's morally low, is what it seems. And so instead of giving us that, he sets it up like, oh, there's going to be a blow up and it's going to be this. And you're like, finally, it's going to really turn into this Batman movie. And then it doesn't. It ends up, or they break out of jail and then they just get brought right back in. And every time something good happens, you don't get it. And you don't get it. And you want this, and it's not that. And Harley Quinn is actually a pyromaniac in the mental institution. No, she's not. She's just a rich kid who snuck in, and she's not really Harley Quinn. She's just literally a rich loser that's obsessed with serial killers. That's it. That's all she is. She's shallow. And so all of these letdowns, so then you're like, okay, the film guy, the director's going to give us something to chew on, right? No, nothing. As soon as there's something to chew on, it's a letdown. It's a low. I learned in college something really great, and if you're a show person or an artist, these are, to me, wise words, and I think we can all use this in our work, whether it's a visual art or performance art, which is what I do. Anytime you have a choice to make between A, B, C, or whatever, D, and you have to choose which one's going to be in your act, which one's the strongest choice? Which is the boldest choice? You go for that. Why? Because why are you wasting their time? You're wasting the audience's time. If you're asking me to go watch something, give me the good stuff. I don't want the boring stuff. Why? Right? Lady Gaga did that song, Shallow. That's funny. Listen, she is a good actor and singer. I'm not a fan of her or her music, but I'll give her props. She looks great. She acts great. Her voice is beautiful, but I don't know what to say. I feel bad that she's in this movie. I mean, she's going to have to do some spinning. I think this movie's so bad, it's going to affect the sales of the first one's legacy. Hellraiser Judgment. I don't even know what that is. I did like the new Hellraiser, just the new one, a lot actually. I did not. Some of these newer ones I didn't see. When we see Batman movie, especially one that's out of the normal whatever's popular, we want to see what they're going to do with the legend we know of Batman. How are they going to retell this? What are they going to add to it? What are they going to keep? What are they going to, how are they going to portray Batman? Or what is Gotham City? Are there other villains? What is this? Why are you even bothering with Batman? Why? What does that mean? You know the Joker, everybody? Do you know when I was little and you would look up the Joker's origin, he didn't really have one. It was kind of like it was like a mystery. And then they started writing origin stories. They gave him the Red Hood origin, and then the Tim Burton story, and then, there's now origins stories of the Joker, and the Heath Ledger one so far now, and really now, is going to go down in history as the Joker. I mean, something really to chew on. He's an agent of chaos, yes, but he's a little bit able to do things that we can follow. It's like, the best part about the Heath Ledger Joker, I thought, is the first time he starts telling the story about how his face got messed up. You really do feel for him. You're like, wow, that's a twisted story. And then he does something crazy, right? And then he's getting ready to do something crazy again, and he starts telling his story how his face got messed up. And it's a completely different story told with the same amount of conviction. And at that moment, there's something really dangerous and bad about this guy. And it unlocks this whole new wow. And it's very subtle. And this movie, this new Joker part doo-doo, nothing. It had great colors. The color palette, whoever chose the color palette did a great job. I did not check out the Penguin series. I hear good things too, but my problem with I do like the Pattinson Batman a bit. I do like it. It's not my favorite. I have a little bit of problems with the morale in it. They're doing a little bit of good guy, Batman's the bad guy thing in that movie. If you watch it, they're actually trying to make Batman not as cool by some of the things inside. Yep, the Christian Bale. I did like him. I just didn't like the third one. I thought that got a little bloated, which is part of my thing about Hollywood being bloated. I mean, really, a $200 million Joker movie? $200 million? I mean, really, that's just so much money. That's so much money as an actor. Are you even able to say, like, hey, this movie sucks? It might say in their contract they're not allowed to even open their mouths. What a bunch of losers. What is it like when you're in a movie of that scale and budget? Do you, like, when they're filming it, realize that there's no substance to some of this stuff? Are you just waiting for that edit? Insidious I have not seen, and my friend is in the movie. I know the guy. I have not seen it. Bane. Yeah, I didn't like Bane. Oh, Clooney? Well, I mean, yeah. I started with Adam West. When I was little, that was on TV in reruns, and I watched it religiously after school, and I did see almost every episode. It's really good. The old TV show is really good. I think the Tim Burton first movie is brilliant still. I mean, why we forgot about what friend? Patrick Wilson. I actually know him quite well. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Jack Nicholson is a fantastic Joker. Really. Bane the Super Soldier with Mr. Freeze. Yeah, I mean, those were cute. Batman can be scary. I think it should go scary. I want scarier. I want the Christian Bale, but on 11. Let's get scary. Let's make Batman really scary. I actually think one of the best Batman fight scenes is in Batman versus Superman, when Batman has to go save Superman's mom. To me, that's one of the greatest Batman fight scenes I have ever seen. And that is Batfleck. Yep, it's Ben Affleck. Now, he does kill people. They changed that. And the reason why Batman kills people is it supposedly takes place after Robin's killed by the Joker. And that's the movie they should be making. They should be making the movie when the Joker kills Robin. Good God, what is wrong with these people? The Batman versus Predator, some of these fan films are pretty good. Oh, yes, Lorcan. Lorcan's pointing out one of the greatest little TV scenes. Lorcan says, I remember when Adam West, the episode where he was on 2 phones at the same time talking to himself. Batman and Bruce Wayne having a conversation. It's brilliant. Here's what happens. Commissioner Gordon calls Batman. So Bruce Wayne, who's Batman, answers the bat phone. Hi, Batman here. Right? And then while they're on the phone, the commissioner calls Adam West and says, here, you need to talk to Batman. So then he answers, hello, Adam West here. And then the commissioner goes, Adam West, here, I'm going to put you on the phone with Batman. Hi, is this Batman? Yeah, it's Batman. Well, listen, hi, Commissioner, we're dealing with this. Batman, I think I need... And they do a whole... It's a brilliant... You see, these old TV shows, in their pinky, had more creative, exciting, thoughtful, fun things than these $200 million pieces of garbage. I mean, really. Talking on 2 cell phones, it stings your... Oh, I can imagine. Pfeiffer is the Catwoman. Danny DeVito is the Penguin. I mean, they were all very good at acting. The scripts were great. To me, the Tim Burton Batman was the balance between the comic book feel of Adam West, and it was modernized and made a little scarier, you know. I forget who the villain is in that episode. If it's Mr. Freeze. I forget who it is. Let's have a smoke break. As I rant about the Joker. Garbage, garbage, garbage. Don't waste your time. Nothing happens in the movie. It's all the movie is it's him he's in jail on trial. And Harlequin shows up and he falls in love and they're just 2 mental patients and there's nothing interesting about them. Nothing. They don't do anything. They don't say anything brilliant. They smoke in every scene. Like Tarantino movies, they just sit around and smoke and look cool. I'm cool. Over and over and over. 2 hours and 10 minutes worth? Terrible. I'm telling you, don't bother. If you're a fan of the first one, it will ruin it. It's mad at you. There's a scene in the new one where... What did I write? Not one thing made him pop. God, it's so... Nothing happens. Even the Harlequin character. Oh, I'm going to spoil the end. Okay? I've already told you. At the end, you find out. He finally gets to the moment where in the courtroom, where he comes in with the makeup. And you're like, here's the Joker. And finally, the movie's... You're like, all right, it took more than half the movie, but here we go. It's going to light it up. And it ends up, it's not the Joker. The next day, he comes in, and he goes, I'm sorry, it's not me. I'm just a kook, and I'm sorry. And then all of his fans leave. The audience is like, who cares? A random... Oh, then something blows up, and you're like, oh, finally, here we go. He's got another villain's going to get him out of jail, or Harlequin's blowing up the courtroom. No, it's somebody else. It's meaningless. Then he escapes. Then he gets caught again, because he's a loser and he's not the Joker. And then... And here's the end of the movie. So again, if you don't like spoilers, some just random inmate stabs him to death, and that's the end of the movie. Somebody's coming to meet him, it's most likely Harlequin, and some guy just goes and just stabs him. And you're just like, dude. And I remember we saw the end, like, okay, wow, that's pretty real. And then we left. And then I got home, and I saw online someone wrote, the ending where the man's cutting his face, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't stay through the credits. And then it was like, no, no, no. It's happening on screen. It's just a little bit in the background. What? I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it. So, I mean, as a director, if he was being subtle, he was too subtle. I missed it. Supposedly, the guy that stabs the Joker, after he shanks him, he starts cutting his face, like the Heath Ledger, hinting that now the movie's going to begin, and that guy's the real Joker, maybe, right? That's what I would guess. It's his intention of that. Like, oh yeah, you want the Joker? We're going to give it to you not only at the end of the movie, it's going to be so obscure and hidden, audience members won't even notice it. So please explain to me why a director would make that choice. Why? Well, if he's rich and doesn't care and wants to prove a point and laugh all the way to the bank and cause some chaos and destruction and be a Joker, well, then the joke's on you and me. And it worked. And so his project is immensely successful. Right? But that's usually not the case. You know, I used to work with a brilliant, and I use the word brilliant in quotes, artist who I think was not brilliant, and people interpreted them as brilliant. They would, it was the emperor in you know, invisible clothing scenario where the artist would, you know, say something weird that made no sense, and people would be like, oh my God, it's genius. And I would be like, no, it's them being stupid and you're reading into it. And I remember they got booked to do a performance for a corporate gig. And the artist booked another artist, and that artist ended up shocking the crowd so much that it didn't go over well. And I was shocked. If I was going to hire an act to open for me, whether it be an art thing or a corporate thing or whatever, I'm going to see what it is. I'm going to find out so that if it clashes with my act or the vibe of the party, I'm going to step in and be like, maybe we shouldn't do that. But the artist didn't do that. And if they did it on purpose to make the crowd angry, I would be like, you're awesome. I like artists that do that. But that's not what it was. They were just being a dumbass. And I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, who's got thoughts on this? I mean, what's going on here? Hollywood's bloated. I mean, obviously, they give their money to their friends. They hire only their friends group. You have to be anointed to participate. They just don't hire people anymore. You have to pass through the gates. And they got to be like, is he cool? He's cool. Come on in. And I really think you're not allowed to do much. You can't say much. I mean, look at the Harvey Weinstein stuff. That stuff was going on just recently, and no one said a word. So I have a funny feeling when you're paid $20 million to play a part, that's Joaquin, and Lady Gaga, I think, got 12 or 10. I don't think you say much. I think you're a little more limited in what you're, you know. Here we go. Eli Wallach. That's the episode. Mr. Freeze. There was a few Mr. Freezes, and I don't remember which one I liked better. Eli Wallach or Otto Preminger. Both of them were Mr. Freeze. Huh. Here we go. Serena. Maybe coming from the perspective of all the superhero and villain movies are bullshit and life's just chaotic absurdity. Yes! But it is a weak choice. You're right, and it's a weak choice. Correct. I would agree, 100%. I think that's what they were doing. But it's a weak choice. It's not exciting. It's not entertaining. We go to the movies to be entertained. No one goes to the movies. I mean, some might go to get uplifted, but mostly it's entertained. Yeah, I think that's what it is, and I do think it's a weak choice. I don't think the Joker was test marketed. I don't think they ran it through a test market. If someone can look that up, I'm pretty sure they didn't really test it. Yeah. How do you not test a movie like that, especially one that's a little experimental in its medium, being a musical? When I heard that the Joker movie was going to be a musical, I was like, great way to take a movie like the Joker that was dead serious and real. It gives it a reason to fantasize it a bit. We can hear the story now from his imagination and make it the whole movie a musical. Make it a fantasy and make him do things. Give him a purpose. Give him something to do. He didn't have anything to do. They didn't apparently what? Oh, they didn't. Apparently. Oh, I'm right about the test market. What the heck? Who? I mean, what bigwig that was in the mix of the production end? Maybe they knew it was going to flop and they kind of hit it. And they just kind of said, look, let's fake it till we make it. And it was inevitable. It didn't work. I think they thought it might somehow, I don't know. I mean, I think I could fix this movie quickly. I would reshoot the end with the guy cutting his face and becoming this new Joker. I would make that happen earlier in the movie, actually. And maybe give us a little bit of what that might be. I would... Oh, the movie opens with a cartoon that probably cost a lot of money. It looks like actual animation. I remember nothing about the cartoon. Boring, stupid. I remember when I saw Roger Rabbit the first time, when I left the theater, one of the things I remember is that the cartoon at the beginning of the movie was one of the best cartoons I had seen in years. They made a really good Roger Rabbit cartoon. Well, the Joker cartoon? Forgettable. Right? I mean, anybody see the movie? My mom, I don't think, is watching right now. She might be, but if she is, do you even remember the cartoon? Yes, I think, Melissa, yes. I think the idea of making it a musical, I think it leans into the joke of the Joker, and it does let you add to his mythology. What a great idea. Let's make it sing. Dude, I wanted there to be the courtroom number where they're all singing, and he's singing and trying to defend himself, and they go into a number. That's what I thought it was going to be. But that's not what you're getting. You are not getting West Side Story. You are not getting a musical. You're getting a bad court drama where nothing happens. You're getting a bad musical where the music's bad and poorly produced and edited. I mean, it was crispy and clear. Just like the visual. The colors were beautiful. Yeah. Wow. I would say the costume design, it's okay. I didn't hate it. But, man, I'd much rather... See? There we go. My mom's in the house. I do not remember the cartoon. I mean, if you remember the movie, what do you remember? I remember him bent backwards. This is literally what I remember. Him blowing smoke in that position. And how many times does he do it? 15 times? 10 times? There's at least 10 times where he like leans back but he's a nobody. He's like a what does he represent? He's lost. He got eaten by the machine. He has an ailment that's terrible and sad. You know, the whole, like, him laughing. Like, oh, that's another thing. So they made this thing in the first one where he has the ailment of he laughs when he's actually upset. And I was waiting for a moment in the courtroom where that, like, if you hired me to write a scene for that movie, I would have been like, all right, we got to write a scene where that's in the courtroom. His laughter starts to interrupt the proceeding. And that becomes part of the almost plot. Is his ailment really has to be managed because it's really disturbing. You know, someone talking about a little kid dying and he starts laughing and the judge has to be like, he's actually upset. And, you know, like people trying to wrap their head around, you know, like I want to see that scene. Not in the movie. You're not getting it. If you're trying to quit smoking, don't watch Joker 2. Yeah, it's also, the whole movie's him smoking. Every scene. It's not good, folks. It's really terrible. His acting, it's committed, clearly. He's not bad. I mean, when you see him, you're like, wow, he is another creature. But I don't know. I mean, I remember him getting tortured in the movie. The guards torture him. It doesn't mean anything. I don't really have pity for him anymore in the movie. Like when you're watching it, did you have pity for the guy? I guess. Is that what they want you to do? Pity? I mean, there's a scene where the Harlequin character is basically like, you're not the real Joker. You're a letdown. I don't like you. As like, that's what we're thinking. So then you're waiting for the, you know, good music has tension, release. Tension, release. Art, tension, release. There's other things that are tension and release. You see what I'm saying? This is life. Tension and release creates life. There's no release in this. And if there is a release, it's a fake out. It's like a carrot. Here's the release. And then it's not what it is. Oh yeah, Peaky Blinders. I've yet to see. I hear it's quite good. Smoking is delightful. I don't smoke tobacco and haven't for many years. And I decided that if I was going to smoke this stuff, which I do like it. I mean, it helps my I have really bad arthritis, which I am going to do a show on arthritis eventually. I just decided I'm going to smoke the good stuff. It's going to be large scale, and I'll stay away from the brown, the tobacco. The green is okay for me. It also has a few functions medicinally for me, not for everybody. But I do like puffing on smoke. So I feel for you if you can't have it. The bad habit I miss, not drinking. I don't miss drinking. The bad habit I miss is chewing tobacco. I love it. 3 months in county. Uh-oh. Really? Interesting. That's funny. Oh yeah, I mean, there you're that's a quick way to learn all sorts of things, you know? Get isolated from it. And I'm sure the mind looping is maddening. Kraken. Well, I love it. Michael Pike says, I smoke recreationally and medicinally at the same time. Back at you. Right. Lorcan says it. That's why it's hard to quit. Lorcan says he misses the ritual more than the actual smoke part. Yes, it is a ritual. There's a procedure. There's the lead up. Epicurus, if you ever want to read Epicurus, I recommend it. He broke pleasure into categories. Like the pre-pleasure, the act of doing it, and then the aftermath. And it turns out he was right. There are different chemicals involved. There's the anticipation, the ritual part, getting ready. There's the activity. There's the cleanup. And some habits, like smoking, have a ritual element. You had a Bonnie and Clyde moment, but for real. Wow. Oh, you got to tell us one day. You want a bank robbing spree? That's a fun episode. Yeah, bank robbing. I mean, that's a great. That's something that I think everybody secretly admires. It's one of those kind of. That's what we wanted to see in the Joker. We want to see him rob a bank and then burn the money, like, the other movie. We want to see him do chaotic things and watch people deal with it. That's why Batman's fun, because there's this agent of chaos, and then we have Mr. I'm going to fix things, and they don't match. That's why the Joker is Batman's nemesis, because he's an agent of chaos. And Batman's a weird mix of totalitarianism and bad habits of revenge mixed with obsessive compulsive disorder, mixed with rich kid syndrome, mixed with, I mean, he's a loaded cannon for a superhero. So him as the balancing factor to Mr. Chaos, yes, that's the movie we want. That's what we want to see. We want to see what this energy, how it reflects off of society now. Like, we saw where it comes from. We saw it explode in the first one. He does this crazy act on television and then creates a cult following immediately, and we want to see what that does. What's the aftermath of that? You set off a firecracker, where's that going to go? And that's not what we get in that movie. Now let's stop talking about the Joker for a minute. And, I want to read this. Let's read this, and then we're going to talk about another art form. We're going to talk about art. Art and the art form of horror. Managed to quit smoking, says Paul Whitaker, by creating a shrine of butts rolled in a glass jar. Oh, wow. The only cigarette you were allowed to smoke were re-rolls from the jar. Yes. Well, I mean, if you're a crackhead type, like I used to be, you can smoke butts no problem. They're like, oh, yeah. Here's how I quit smoking for anybody watching. And when I say smoking, I mean cigarettes, because nicotine... Actually, let me say that again. Here's how I quit nicotine. Because nicotine is very addicting. Because I spent years trying to quit. And when I say I was addicted to nicotine, I used to chew tobacco, smoke pipes, smoke cigars, and do snuff, meaning the nose version of tobacco, all kind of at the same time. So here's what I did. I told myself that I was... Okay, so the patch to me doesn't work because it evens out your nicotine all day. The gum, you get an up and a down. And I think that's important for the addict. I liked the up and the down. It gave me that ritual, that moment, that, when I would wake up in the morning, I'd first get up, and be a little hungry or thirsty for coffee. But then I was like, I get to have my gum, right? Because I was down. I needed my up. So it gave me those moments of the day that I looked forward to chew my gum. So I told myself, you can chew as much gum as you want all day for as long as you want for the rest of your life. I give you permission to myself. Right? So that's what I did. I chewed as much as I wanted all day, and I got off the smoking pretty easy. I chewed the gum all the time. I bought it generic on sale, which you can do. You can get it cheap. I liked the burning feeling. I would chew it, and I would be like, there's the nicotine. Eventually, I got sick of chewing gum. Well, first I switched over to regular gum. Dentine Ice, the strong one. Because I just got sick of the gum and buying it. And quitting chewing gum is a lot easier. So when I weaned off the gum, lower milligram, less pieces, it wasn't that hard. And that's how I quit nicotine. Nosferatu looks awesome. And Terrifier 3 looks awesome. When we're done tonight, I'll put the trailer for 3 on. Um, I am a mega fan. As you can see, I'm wearing the shirt, and I have an art doll right here. I think, how cool is it that Damian Leone, who's a fellow New Yorker, he's on the island. I'm in Queens, which is technically Long Island, but we like to say New York City because we're New York City. But he's from the island, so he's a New Yorker, and he created a character that 50 years from now, we are going to see people with Art the Clown tattoos, t-shirts. It's going to still be around. Just like Jason and Freddy, just like Dracula and Frankenstein. He got immediately, they got rid of Pennywise the Clown. They got rid of anything that had anything to do with a clown monster. This guy basically showed up as Boss Dog day one. I mean, it was immediate. And I think it's a nice mix of a good director and a good actor. David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown in 2 and 3 and 4, I'm sure, when they do 4. He's not the guy in, or he's in 1 too. He's in 1, 2, and 3. He's not in All Hallows Eve. It's another guy. He was good too. But the acting of the monster, the Art the Clown character, and the directing, he made the first one on a Kickstarter budget, and like that, they took his character and put it right beside Freddy and Jason and all the modern horror monsters. What an honor. 50 years from now, Joker 2 will be forgotten. I really think so. Yes. I know, they travel as a team. Yes, I heard this. I heard he's doing 4 and 5. I've heard he mapped, when he did 2, I heard he started doing a nice map out of what each one will be. He had a plan, which is great. The dude cares, okay? He not only cares about the character that he created and its legacy, which is why he's like, I'm going to make these all low budget. He not only cares, but he cares about you, the fan that buys the tickets and the toys and the t-shirts. And he knows what you like and what you want. And he's like, he does what I'm doing in my magic show. I give them what they want, and I give them way more than they imagine. I give them some stuff that's like extra. And that's what's special. So, and he's doing that. He's giving everybody what they want in a modern horror film. What you're paid your money to see. What you're excited to see. He's going to excite you. You want to get grossed out? He's going to gross you out. You want a jump scare? Yep, they're in there. Oh, yeah. Good-looking girls? They're in there. That was one of the things in the 80s. There was always hot babes in the movies. I don't see anything wrong with that. Put them in the movie. No problemo. Put your hunky young man in the movie, too, like they used to have. They always used to have the hunky guy, the pretty girl. All the old Jason movies also had one weirdo show up. You know, there was some archetypes to these types of movies. Well, he does that, but then he breaks our expectations. Anything that he adds from his creativity, you know, that he has, is he gives us what we want, but then he turns it to 11. And in this case, he turns it to 12 and 13 sometimes, which is why it's good. You're just like, wow, he did that? It's hard to shock a modern audience. He does it with a wink wink and a nudge nudge too. There's a lightheartedness too to some of these. Well, the garbage of the second Joker will overshadow the first one. Yes, Lorcan. Yes. Oh no, that's true. I think this new Joker is such a disaster, it's going to ruin the legacy of the first one. I'm not the only one to say that. I've seen other people talking about that. The first one cost $40K to make. The second Terrifier cost $250,000. And it made like almost 25 mil. And the third one, I think, cost 1 mil or 2 mil. Which is still low budget. It's not a lot of money. $1 million for a movie of that stature is silly. Oh, yes, there's King Diamond posters on the wall. Do you know that that actor that plays the kid has a YouTube show? He does punk rock review. He's a music reviewer. He has good taste. Yeah, this guy's good. He really is. He's one of us. He's a fan. He's an artist. He has respect for the actors, for the craft, for the story. He has respect for the horror film genre. He also seems like a really nice guy. But his movies are giant middle fingers to Hollywood. And it's bloated nature. I mean, how is Hollywood going to spin this Joker movie? How are they going to spin this? I've heard Lady Gaga is already having to do a little bit of a cleanup because she released a record that's called Harlequin. That's kind of a reflective tie-in. And I think she thought this was going to be good. I'm sure when you're shooting these, you can't tell. You're like, it seems good. There's a lot of people here. There's a big budget. Must be good. You don't expect a lemon of this stature. Let's see. I'm curious of what they let him direct next, or if they oust him. Is he still allowed to be part of the party? You know, are they gonna unanoint Todd Phillips? Probably not. I don't think so. I saw an interview with him that if you didn't know, they said, there you go, Lorcan. They'll say the Joker failed because it's an election year. Maybe. They also might blame our ghoulish nature for wanting something. I think that's what it is. I think it's them being a good guy and penalizing us for being animals and wanting something bad, wanting to smoke and drink sugar drinks and see bad things happen to good people and good things happening to bad people. Occasionally that happens in movies. Bad. Shame on you. You're not allowed to like that anymore. You're not allowed to want to play the bad guy in Dungeons and Dragons anymore. Bad. You're not allowed to listen to lyrics that mention certain subjects because it might upset somebody, even though the subject isn't necessarily upsetting. Shame on you. You're selfish. So, you see what I'm saying? To me, that's what this looks like a little bit. It seems a little bit like a snobby version. Like they're in their elitism of how they view themselves as artists. I hate to say it, educators, as role models. I think they must have these Hollywood meetings where they're like, listen, we're role models and we have to behave as such. And that's where they start putting on those badges. Huh. Blame the fans. Well, they do that a lot now. And it is the fans' fault. Because we're the ones that buy the tickets. So go ahead and blame the fans. Let them blame the fans. Sure. Maybe that's how that's how it should be. Blame the fans and let the fans own it. Okay, it's our fault. All right. Our toxic ways ruined the film. And sorry. Right? How are they going to spin this? Maybe they won't spin it. Maybe they will, out of sight, out of mind it. They're going to find something new. As soon as the election gets closer, nobody's going to care about anything. Everybody's going to be glued to their TVs. They're going to make it look closer than it. Here's a little note for the political people, because I'm not saying much on this, but I'm really good at guessing things. I get paid to do it. And so if the news is making things look close, it's not. Somebody's in the lead. They want it to look close because it's better for the news. I've looked into this. Whenever they show elections close, it's in their favor to do that. So if somebody's in the lead, they'll interpret that as, they'll just say it's close. They'll never say one so and so's in the lead. If somebody was way in the lead and the political party slant of that program leaned against that candidate, they would say there's a slight lead, right? If they were losing a lot, they'd say they were slightly losing a little. And if they were losing a little, they'll say it's tied. Close race. So right now, if you look, they keep saying it's close, which to me means somebody's ahead a bit. Maybe not a lot, but they're definitely ahead. And they don't want to say. Yes, pussified nation. Yes, feelings. Yeah. I would agree. I mean, we don't talk. To me, the things as a nation we're missing, and I think are important to teach children, the next crew that are going to be running the show, because that's who the kids are. And whenever I hear people go, I hate kids, this is what I do now. So here, say it. I hate kids. This is what I do. I go, oh, really? Who's going to wipe your ass when you're in a nursing home? That's how I react. I don't like it when people say, it's such a weird thing to say. What do you mean you hate kids? What does that even mean? You mean you don't like to be around children's demeanor, or you don't like the sound of their voice, or you don't like youthfulness? What do you mean? When people say that, I just want to slap them. They usually don't know what they're talking about. And when I say, hey, I hope you have someone to wipe your ass in the nursing home, meaning, well, somebody else's kids are going to be wiping your ass in the nursing home or wherever you end up or whatever happens. And those people are also going to be making the rules. So the rules I always thought that we should teach our kids in America is the free speech stuff. And in that, you have to learn how to suffer a little bit. At least hear things you don't want to hear or see things you don't agree with. And to me, these are the things that they're not a given. You have to learn a bit. You have to, if you're from another country and you come here, there's a few fabrics that we have, we kind of all got to agree on. And the First Amendment stuff to me is one, and the second one is the other one. And the privacy one, right for privacy. Some of those are like dead serious, but you got to learn about them and the nuance to them and what they mean and the ramifications. And so to me, those are like really important, like, why would you not want kids to learn that stuff and like talk about it? And the other thing is suffering. People don't tell their kids the truth about suffering and how things work and how there's physical suffering and there's mental suffering. And you're getting both. And if you're not getting both, your friends are getting both and your family's getting both. So I mean, maybe that's what it is. Well, I think, right, well, that's what it is. A lot of the people I'm dealing with are showbiz people who didn't have kids. They're busy. It might be they were just busy and it didn't line up, which happens all the time. And that's fine. That doesn't, yeah. And it's like from that to like, oh, I hate kids. It became a thing to say, It's like, how people throw around there's crazy cat lady archetypes? Well, when I think about the person that's like, I hate children, that's an archetype. There's like a certain Manhattanite type of, late 20-year-old who kind of made it part of their character that they're not into having kids. They've decided as a youth when they're young, I'm not having kids. But again, I mean, to me, like the whole kid thing, it's like, I mean, you can plan it, you can not plan it. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Kids appear out of nowhere sometimes, and you're like, oh, wow, there's kids here. Whatever it is, those people are running the show next. So like them or not, there's a certain respect that has to happen with children. Again, I was saying the other day, like when I perform for magic shows for kids, I take it dead serious because I'm going to shape their view of magicians for the rest of their lives. So that's just me personally. That's what I think. I don't know how we got on the subject of kids, but I like it. My kids are big now. I get to watch other people have kids, and the things I see are parents not hanging out with their kids. They give them an iPad and tell them to keep busy. Or I see mitigation, helicopter parenting. Instead of letting some chaos ensue and letting kids figure it out, I don't know. I also don't see parents teaching their kids about death, something that's kind of popular. I don't know if you know. Happens to everybody. Happens all the time, every day. I don't see people talking about a lot of things like that, serious subjects. I don't see parents teaching their kids how to sharpen knives or wash dishes or shine shoes or vacuum correctly. I don't see it. So, Well, yeah, I mean, kids aren't for everybody. All right, Lorcan has 5. Awesome. Yeah, yeah, they're all different. Yeah, yeah, here to you. That's amazing. Yeah, I get it. I have 2 kids. They're both very different. Um, I loved watching both of them grow up. That's what you get. You get to watch them grow up, and you get to learn. You get to relearn everything and your own values if you're teaching them, if you're sharing. A lot of parents don't share anything with their kids. I shared everything. I'm an open book. I shared all my likes, my dislikes. I shared with my kids my failures, things I'm not good at. I don't hide them. They know my weaknesses. They've picked me off the ground. I mean, they've helped me before. I've written some really neat essays that I'm going to revisit about how my kids helped me, so, yeah, but having kids isn't for everybody. And you can mentor kids and you can be a important role in a kid's life without being a parent. There's millions of ways. And, but kids don't, like you said, as long as they behave, well, they're all different, and some don't behave and some do, and some of them you got to let them mess up, and some of them you don't want them to mess up because they're going to get hurt because they're not smart enough, but that's fine. You could step in, but sometimes you don't want to step in, so it's a little hard. Parenting's not easy. It's an experiment, and you will fail. There are going to be failure moments. Well, there you go. This is where Lorcan, this is it. How many times did you discover your true feelings on something through teaching your children? I would say everything. Yeah. That's exactly what happens. This is good. Do you find them more perceptive towards your magic? Well, it's funny. They know where I'm coming from without having to be explained. And so, yes, I would agree. Yes, they do. Yeah, they have insight on stuff most normal kids wouldn't have just because of me and what I do for a living. Um, being able to deal with any kind of struggle. Ah, yes. Yes, Serena says it comes down to also being able to deal with any kind of struggle. Um, the Manhattanite archetypes want comfort 24/7. Yeah, and their version of comfort is not my version. Like, for instance, like I like hobbies that are hard to do, that have a big learning curve. And I like going to shows that are a little more challenging maybe, or dangerous. And I like camping a little more rustic, and they like it easy. Um for sure. That's what glamping is. It's those types camping, right? Um and I think a lot of those types don't teach their kids the realities of suffering, you know, and or just being happy with less, being minimalistic, being. I have met wealthy people that are minimalistic. I've met them. They realized early that it's not always. It doesn't mean anything. If you can buy everything, you end up not wanting anything. So, you have not Bill Gates. Who's the other guy? Is it Warren Buffett? Which one of them lives in a tiny little apartment and doesn't really have much? Some of these guys don't have much. I think Elon actually lives in kind of a little hut, kind of a house somewhere. Somebody was just telling me that the other day. It's just, if you can buy everything, you're just like, I don't really need anything. Right? I think it loops. When you're a billionaire, eventually you're like, oh my God, how many houses do I want? And how much time is there left in my life to enjoy them? So, yeah, Warren Buffett maybe. Yeah, he lives in a little apartment. Minimalistic stuff is good. Now, people always, if I bring up minimalism and people look at my lifestyle, and this is just a little bit, I have like a whole house of this. It's a lot. It's weird. In my brain, I am a little bit of a minimalist, even though you would never guess that. But my versions of minimalism are kind of like, I wear the same kind of shoes. I wear the same kind of pants. I wear the same kind of shirts. I don't spend a lot on food. I don't go on vacation. I hate vacations. You see what I'm saying? Like, I am a minimalist on another layer. Like, I don't watch TV. I don't. I'm trying to think of other things that are weird about me. Like, I don't own any sneakers. I only have boots, and I only have a certain amount. And I've been wearing the same kind of boots and same brands for 30 years. You see, so now I do like elaborately collected. I didn't do this overnight. This grew to this, and I do keep track of it. I do know where most things are. I can kind of locate it quick. And I believe it or not, this all gets used. I use it for reference for artwork, some work or pieces I'm doing, or consultation for projects. It stimulates me. It reminds me of things I'm doing. So I've integrated this whole thing into my life. But I am minimalistic on a lot of things. My diet is pretty simple. I make a lot of my own food. I do like junk food. I do like junk food. But I'm a cheapskate. I don't buy fancy stuff. I definitely go low budget, What's this say? Yes. Somebody's talking about Warren Buffett. Yeah, Warren Buffett, I don't know a lot about him. If you're new, hit the like and subscribe button, please. I'm going to get off soon. I have a few things I got to get ready for. I have some gigs this week. I'm going to actually now do a little pre-plan. I do have, on Thursday, tickets to see Terrifier 3, which I'm going to show the trailer in a second. And I might go again Friday. I might go see it twice this week. We'll see. And if you're in New York City, I'm doing an actual gig at Club Eris Friday night at 1 a.m. The witching hour. Yeah. I do too. I agree. You can be a collector. Yeah, I get rid of stuff before I get new parts to my collection. I do. I actually try to, move. Like, I'll have stuff on display and I'll kind of move it and curate it. I'm constantly curating stuff. Some of my collection's functional. Like my magic stuff and my magic books and some of my props. So I need them accessible. So I do, like, kind of monitor it. There you go. My mom says Elon lives in a $50,000 home in Boca Chica, Texas. SpaceX headquarters. So, yes, he does. He has a little house. Yeah, I know. Like, he's one of those guys that I think, he doesn't live elaborately. He's so rich he can have anything he wants at any moment that it does the loop. It means nothing. If you're wondering why I'm doing this right now, it's my arthritis. I'm having a moment. Anybody have arthritis? I have it really bad, and it's not much you can do. I mean, there's a few things. I refuse to take the pharmaceutical. I took one they gave me before, and not only did it not work, it made me feel weird. And I'd rather feel weird on this. So, yeah, we'll see. I've been wanting to do a show on arthritis and what it is, because it's fascinating. Wow. Well, next week you'll get a review of Terrifier 3 and hopefully another subject. I have some cool stuff I want to talk about. I am going to bounce. I'm going to eat food. Yeah, I'm excited to see Terrifier. There's not many times in my life that I can think of glorious moments in a movie theater, and seeing Freddy 2 opening night back in the old days was one of my favorite experiences. And I think we're going to get a good one with this one. So I'm going to show right now. Yes, you can donate. Hi. If you're watching this in rerun, hi, thank you for watching. I'm going to put on, before we go, Terrifier 3. Please watch this trailer. It's brilliant. And it's supposedly so gross in the first scene, people are running out the door. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't want to know, so don't spoil it in the chat. But I'm sure it's something shocking. So here we go. Good evening. Thank you for watching. I really like that there's a live crowd in here that shows up now on a regular basis. Thank you very much for coming. Give me a shout out in the chat. And like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. I'm Cardone. This is episode 172. This is the trailer for one of my favorite franchises. It comes out Thursday, Friday night. Party on, Wayne.
You survived the most famous serial killer since Jack the Ripper. The 5-year anniversary is coming up. I think a lot of people would really like to hear from you after all this time. Want to know what it's like to be in the presence of that kind of evil. What goes through your brain when he's close enough to you. You feel his breath. I saw him today.
Who? How can you be sure it was really him?
I could feel it.
Who's this Santa? He's scaring my kid.
Yeah, he's scaring me too.
Hey, Santa's handing out presents!
Why would he here. Even if he was alive, which he isn't, wouldn't you want to get as far away from here as possible, as far away from you?
We both know this isn't over. I have to go back to the Terrifier.
It's still buried there, isn't it?
It might be the only thing that could stop them. Looking forward to the best Christmas ever, filled with fun, smiles, and laughter.